review of one of the most entertaining heist movies I've seen in years. They call it The Bank Job.
I like myself the way I am.
Plus, Christina Ricci and Reese Witherspoon star in the fractured fairy tale Penelope.
Do we?
Everybody panic! Oh my God, there's a bear loose in the Coliseum! There will be no refund! Your refund will be escaping this death trap with your life!
Our first movie is Semi-Pro, with Will Ferrell playing a lumpy, horny, egotistical, not very bright sports figure who nonetheless manages to charm us. Not exactly new comedic ground for the big guy. I'm Richard Roeper.
I'm Michael Phillips of the Chicago Tribune. We're covering it all from pigs to toupees today. Let's hear it.
All righty then. Now, as you may know, I was a fan of Talladega Nights and Kicking and Screaming and even Blades of Glory, but this Will Ferrell basketball comedy clangs off the rim. Will Ferrell plays Jackie Moon. He's the owner, the coach, the power forward, and the promoter for the Flint Tropics. They're a struggling team in the dying ABA in the mid-'70s.
The ABA will be merging with the NBA at the end of this season.
Yes! Oh, I'm so happy I can't even feel my arms!
4 teams will be absorbed into the NBA next year.
Wow!
Hey, Jackie, the Tropics won't be going.
Wait, what did you say?
No!
You're being Jackie, don't bite yourself.
Of course, Ferrell's funny in his sleep, and I did laugh out loud from time to time, but the basketball scenes are uninspired and poorly shot, and the period piece fashions and styles are just echoes of the jokes we saw in Anchorman.
Now, Jackie, amazingly, you're 2 wins away from getting your team to the NBA. How do you intend to match up to the Squire's strong inside game?
It's a great question. Tomorrow, after the game, Jackie Moon, will wrestle a bear.
Looks to me like Woody Harrelson borrowed Randy Quaid's wig from Kingpin for his underdeveloped role as Monix, a former NBA bench warmer who has just joined the Tropics.
Brought a secret weapon. It's gonna make us look extra cool on TV.
What the hell is that?
It's eyeliner, dummy. Oh. Now, who's first? Mox?
Oh, yeah. Just let me get a fresh maxi pad out of my purse.
This is just pure slapstick and potty mouth humor. Some of the gags are funny, many more seen played out. Talented supporting players such as Andre Benjamin and Maura Tierney have very little to do. And you know, Will Ferrell's just too funny to make an awful comedy, but I have to say, semi-pro, semi-bad. Can't recommend it.
I'm with you on this, too. The biggest laugh in it comes right at the beginning where you see a newspaper headline about dime beer night turns ugly, you know, for the ABA promotion. And that's about it. I'll tell you, though, there's a fine line between why some Will Ferrell comedies are smart stupid and some are just stupid stupid.
Yeah.
And I think it's to do with just kind of how witless the raunch is and how unfunny the slapstick is. This does not have the finesse of even Blades of Glory, which I liked a lot. And yeah, I like Ferrell. He's got, he's got a lot of goodwill behind him. I think every time out. But you're getting more laughs out of the Bud Light ads he's doing as tie-ins than you are with this movie.
Yeah, I mean, this movie's rated R purely because it has some really raunchy language. Will Ferrell has done 3 sports comedies already.
Right.
He did the 70s thing, I think, to great effect in Anchorman, the Ron Burgundy story. So we already had the period piece laughs about fashions and styles and jive talk and, of course, the music. So we get all of that again, and it just feels like we've seen it all before,
and the animals.
done better.
I mean, we've got animal gags in everything Will Ferrell's ever made. He gets attacked by a cougar in Talladega Nights, and it's, it's a bear here. It was a raccoon and elf, and it's basically like Animal Kingdom.
It's like you take the Will Ferrell formula and you plug it in, but somehow it just feels kind of uninspired and flat.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Anchorman, and I really like Blades of Glory, and this one not nearly as fun.
No, not at all.
Okay, next movie. We're all self-conscious about the way we look. Look at me. I've got a pretty good-sized schnoz and little devil horns that I keep hidden away in my toupee. The new PG-rated fairy tale Penelope is about a wealthy young aristocrat who, owing to a witch's curse, grows up with a pig's nose where her human nose should be. She's played by Christina Ricci, and in this scene, Penelope's mother, played by Catherine O'Hara, needs more comforting than her daughter after Penelope's latest would-be suitor has run screaming.
He really liked you.
No, Mom, he really didn't.
No, he didn't like your nose. That's what he didn't like. You're not your nose.
But it is my nose.
No, it's your great-great-great-grandfather's nose on your father's side. He did this to you.
James McAvoy of Atonement is working undercover for a couple of tabloid journalists eager to get the scoop on the best-kept snout secret around.
How about you and me heading down to the Cloverdale pub right now?
Thanks. Maybe later.
Penelope, come on. Huh? Come on, you gotta get out of there sometime.
Escape she does. Reese Witherspoon, a co-producer on this picture, is fun as the motorcycle delivery woman who befriends our heroine.
So what, are you hiding from the law, or is that just a bad nose job or something?
Mm-hmm. Bad nose job.
Do you mind me asking how much that might cost somebody like a nose job?
Oh, nothing.
Free?
But one of the problems here is Ricci's heroine is such a sane, healthy shut-in. There's not much surprise or joy in watching this character get out and discover the world. Visually, the director Mark Polanski is going for a little Tim Burton, crossed with some Danny DeVito a la Matilda. The picture is, I'd say, easy to take overall, and its message about body image is certainly welcome, but Penelope doesn't provide the kind of comic convention the kids of America and the world so richly deserve.
You know,
disappointment.
It's funny, Michael, because when I saw this at one of the film festivals, I didn't like it, but they made quite a few trims to it, and in the version that everyone's going to get to see, I'm actually recommending it. I really came to like this film, although I agree with much what you're saying. I mean, you know, Penelope, okay, fine, she's got the pig snout, but she's still a size 2 with great hair, and you know, a lot of guys out there would still think she's not too bad looking, even with the pig snout. It's not like she's this horrible freak.
Why am I not surprised you say that? I don't know.
But it's very sweet, and it has a nice message, and the performances, James McAvoy is really good. Richard E. Grant and Catherine O'Hara as the parents, I thought were very funny. I like the tone of it. I find it funny that you're referencing the works of Danny DeVito. I get what you're saying.
Someone's got it, man. Someone's got it.
So I think it's a sweet film.
Yeah, I tell you, the intentions are right, and I think the cast is very good. Peter Dinklage is very funny as one of the tabloid guys.
Yes.
But there's something about the whole thing that just feels like low stakes and very mild.
It is low stakes, and it is kind of, you know, Tim Burton or someone else might have done more with it and turned it into this giant goth tale. It's just a cute little fairy tale, and I thought very well done, very well played, and now moves at a brisk pace. So I'm recommending.
I'd say the cast is good enough to make you want better.
Penelope 2.
Okay, later in the show, you thought period pieces were dull? How about Scarlett Johansson and Natalie Portman with the best pickup line of 1524 and the other Boleyn girl?
Next, an early review of a heist movie I love, The Bank Job.
Professional criminals.
Thought about ordering from 1-800-CONTACTS? Do I need my prescription when I order? Where is my prescription? It's on the box. You call, we verify and ship. 1-800-CONTACTS. We make it simple.
I'd like to tear into a grilled cheese and nibble out the middle.
I want to go crazy with a hot pastrami on rye.
We are so bad.
I'm going to lose myself in a chicken Philly with warm, soft flatbread, melted cheese, peppers, onions, and a creamy cheddar sauce. It's a new flatbread melt from Lean Cuisine. And there's more in the freezer.
Oh, freezer.
New flatbread melts from Lean Cuisine.
Oh, this throbbing sinus pressure. Whenever I get a cold or allergies, I need relief. I feel so congested, stuffed up. I just might blow.
The medicine in Sudafed PE relieves nasal congestion in minutes. Sudafed PE. Get your head back where it belongs.
Welcome to Burrito Block. May I fool you?
Yeah, give me the grilled chicken burrito.
We don't really have a grill here.
That's cool. I didn't expect your food to taste real anyway.
Okay. Would you like 3 grill marks or 4?
5. I want it to taste really grilled.
You can't fake taste. El Pollo Loco's new Queso Crunch Burrito has citrus marinated chicken breast grilled before your eyes. It's cheesy, it's crunchy, it's grilled.
El Pollo Loco!
You've come a long distance.
And you have many miles
blah, blah, blah. Listen, how long till we're Foster Farms chickens?
Yeah, it's not looking good.
What do you mean?
Well, Foster Farms chickens are California grown and 100% fresh and natural. You guys eat nothing but junk food and you've been injected with salt water.
Ugh, fine. What else do you see?
A malted milk ball.
Hey, I was looking for that.
At Foster Farms, fresh and natural means fresh and natural.
You win this round, voodoo lady!
You have no idea the danger you and your chums are in, do you?
Is that right? And why would that be?
You've opened Pandora's box.
I know what's at stake, and I know how expendable we are. So I'm changing the deal.
Oh, is that right?
One of the most famous robberies in the history of London is turned into one of the most entertaining heist movies of the decade in The Bank Job. It opens next week. That would make this an early review. I think this role is a fastball down the middle for Jason Statham. He plays Terry, the kind of guy who can win a bar fight without spilling his drink. Terry's also a small-time crook, and he's a family man with some serious financial woes. It's 1971. Good thing he's not running into Will Ferrell here. And he's presented with the opportunity of a lifetime.
I've been seeing this guy
runs his own business, security systems. Next month, they're installing new alarms in a bank in Marylebone. Seems like the trains have been setting off the tremor alarms in the vault, and they've had to turn them off. So for a week or so, they won't have any.
That's Saffron Burrows as Martine, a former model from the neighborhood who's now mixed up in all sorts of high-level intrigue. She's working with the British Secret Service as a sort of double agent, or maybe she's a triple agent. She's also having an affair with an MI5 operative, played wonderfully by Richard Lintern.
You and your sweetie haven't cooked up something between you, I hope.
You think I betray you?
There are precedents. 2 of our former colleagues now live in bloody Moscow.
Let's hope they don't have another bidder. She won't cross us. She knows what we're capable of.
How does she even know who the hell we are?
I'm sure she'll contact me when she comes to her senses. Going anywhere else would be a death sentence.
The bank job is helmed by the veteran director Roger Donaldson. His work includes the excellent 13 Days and No Way Out and Junk Like Cocktail. Although it's based on true events and it does include portraits of actual characters, The Bank Job is a work of speculative fiction. In real life, there's a lot we still don't know about the details of this famous crime. In the movie, we're almost overwhelmed by the complexity of the plot, but it all ties together in immensely satisfying fashion. Michael, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie.
Oh, yeah, I liked it.
Loved it.
Ice cold, but really good. And I think it's a real return to form for Roger Donaldson, as you say. And, I mean, he's made good genre pictures like No Way Out.
Right.
But that's been 20 years or so. And I think coming right off The World's Fastest Indian, he's really kind of back in form. And I really like the entire cast, including David Suchet, who people know, I think, from TV as Hercule Poirot, the detective. And he's playing a great sleazy Soho porn king. And, you know, all the acting is very kind of flavorful. And I don't know, it's a good, lean picture.
You got to stick with it, because at first you're thinking, okay, this is just going to be a bunch of ragtag neighborhood guys who are in over their heads with this funny heist where they're digging under the chicken place and all that. But then you get all this governmental stuff, and you even got the subplot with that guy Michael Axe, who was a real character and a real bad character in real life, and what happens with him. But I love, I got to say, I love Jason Statham. I think he's underrated as an action star. He does movie after movie, and some of them are just, you know, pure B-movie stuff. But he's got that kind of Bruce Willis thing where he just seems like a guy's guy.
Not a vulnerable actor, you know. In a way, but the part, I think
he's got a couple of scenes with the wife and kids here, and you know, I think he even knows the names of his kids. So
if
you know,
that
he's
qualifies,
got a touching side as well.
But I think, you know, the film is set in the 70s, and it really feels like it comes from the 70s. You know, it's real good, sharp
with the
genre
use of the
filmmaking.
walkie-talkies and the way the media
the big
operated back then. So I mean, a terrific film. Quite a surprise, I thought.
Yeah, very satisfying, I thought. Later in the show, one of the most fascinating road trips around in our video segment.
And as Boleyn Girls Gone Wild, we'll review Natalie Portman and Scarlett Johansson and the other Boleyn girl next.
You have me burnt.
It's sleek. It's fast. It's powerful. The all-new Honda Accord has arrived. Relocate accordingly.
Lease a Honda Accord for $219 a month for well-qualified customers.
You say yes, I say no. You say stop, I say go. You say goodbye, and I say hello, hello, hello. You don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello.
Even more dreams will come true during the 2008 Disney Dreams giveaway, like small surprises, becoming Grand Marshal in Disney parades around the globe, even stay overnight in the park in the Disneyland Dream Suite originally designed for Walt Disney himself. It's all going on now as part of the Year of a Million Dreams at the place where dreams come true. Now with a 2-for ticket, SoCal residents can buy one park ticket and come to the other park on another day, free.
What's going on?
I think I just told a guy who did it. We're shutting the city down.
Looking at movies now in theaters, neither of us can recommend Vantage Point. We both hated Charlie Bartlett. I liked Be Kind, Rewind. Michael was just short of recommending it.
Yeah, that's a fair characterization of my opinion. Thank you.
I'm trying to be fair to you, sir.
Well, Lord help the mister that comes between Anne and her sister. The other Boleyn girl based on the book by Philippa Gregory, whisks us back to the reign of King Henry VIII, looking at all the deceit through the eyes of Anne Boleyn and her less famous sibling, Mary. By royal decree, Mary and then Anne take turns lying abed with the king. Here, out in the country, Natalie Portman as Anne and Eric Bana as Henry get the party started with some banter among the ponies.
Who will you ride with?
On my own, Your Grace.
On your own?
There's a new saddle now which allows this.
But with no man to hold on to, how do you propose to stay on the horse?
As you do, Your Grace. With my thighs.
That was the pickup line of 1524, by the way. It's pure-hearted Mary, played by Scarlett Johansson, who ends up the king's mistress first. Anne is P.O.'d. Then she secretly marries, and her father and uncle find out about it.
You told them, didn't you?
It was for your own good. You never would have got away with it. It would have ruined your prospects forever.
Really? For my good? Well, I'll try to remind myself of that while I'm in exile. And you're here in the king's bed, not challenged for our father's affection.
Henry's appetites have the whole country talking. The minute Mary becomes pregnant, Sister Anne, a canny political strategist, makes her move. But she's not quick to give it away. That'll only get a 16th century girl a reputation.
Look at us. Forever reduced to meeting in secret like this, speaking in whispers. Hardly conducive to passion.
Well, what would you have me do?
Despite all the royal hey-hey, the other Boleyn girl is almost fatally tasteful. The script's by Peter Morgan, who won the Oscar for The Queen, is a good writer, and the director, Justin Chadwick, is in no way interested in the sort of silliness that got into a movie like Elizabeth the Golden Age, which had its way with the story of the Queen that Anne Boleyn, Henry's second wife, brought forth into the world. But there's a difference between good taste and real flavor, and in the end, this picture doesn't taste like much of anything, I think.
Well, I have to agree with a lot of what you're saying, Michael. I am going to recommend it because I think it's just it's a juicy soap opera, and I think the performances are really good. I think Scarlett Johansson is very sweet in most of her scenes and vulnerable. Natalie Portman, I think, gives the best performance in the movie. I do think Eric Bana is miscast. I mean, I think you need someone, kind of larger than life. And Henry VIII is so busy working the sisters and everybody else. It's a wonder that England wasn't taken over by the Flemish or somebody during then. So I mean, I get what you're saying. I also agree with you that it's PG-13, right? And I think this movie would have worked better if it was NC-17. Just go with it. Go with the whole Tudors approach, if you will, to this. So it's a little too restrained. It's certainly not grounded, I don't think, in a lot of historical accuracies. It's true to the legend of what happened in the early part of the 16th century.
And truth schmooth in a way. But I think if people really want to see a great, or certainly a much better version of the very same thing, also called The Other Boleyn Girl, the BBC version's available for rental. They tell the whole story in 90 minutes, and the acting is really exquisite and naturalistic, and it really brings you into the story. Here, I felt like I was at a remove the whole time.
I was too, just enough to recommend it, though, for me. I think, mainly the performances and just the fun of all the flouncing back and forth in the royal chambers where everybody's trying to figure out who's doing what with whom, and then...
So you're going to recommend it?
And I am going to recommend it, and off with your head for not...
That's your misguided prerogative, man.
All right, Nick Nolte, Hank Azaria, and Mark Ruffalo, not in The Other Boleyn Girl. That might have been fun. They are among the talents lending their voices to Chicago 10. This is a fascinating, must-see docudrama about the infamous Chicago 7 trial. Filmmaker Brett Morgan has upped the number to 10 to include Black Panther Bobby Seale and the 2 defense attorneys that were sent to prison on contempt charges. Chicago 10 is filled with bold and innovative creative touches, including the use of a motion capture-style animation technique. The actors voicing the trial participants get their dialogue from the actual trial transcripts. We also see footage from the 1968 Democratic Convention protest, as well as press conference footage featuring the real Abby Hoffman and Jerry Rubin, among others.
The defendants crossed state lines with the intent to start this riot.
Intent to incite. Is that the key line? Intent to incite. Did you intend to incite? And it's not concerned...
It's a state of mind trial. I mean, we're being tried for our thoughts.
We're charged with carrying certain ideas across state lines.
Chicago 10 doesn't try to turn the yippies into heroes. In fact, sometimes they come across as self-promoting jerks. But it's a fresh and important new take on one of the most tumultuous periods in our history.
I wish that were true. This is a tragic missed opportunity, I think. Brett Morgan's got all this terrific footage, and then he clobbers it right away with the most misjudged visual style. I think this whole idea of the rotoscoping, motion capture animation,
the Richard Lee Linklater type stuff.
Does not work at all.
Oh, I think it works great.
No,
Michael,
bad
first of all, yeah, the footage exists, but people have seen it many, many times. We've seen the press conference stuff. We've seen the footage in Lincoln Park and in Grant Park, and we've seen, Mayor Daley at the convention. We've seen all that a million times.
Yeah.
Here, he shows us the trial for what it was, a circus, so it should have a cartoony style to it, and some great actors giving it kind of exaggerated reading. It's not a missed opportunity at all. It's a reinvention. It's a fresh take on familiar territory.
I'm telling you, you show this picture to people who may have some memory of those events and the clash back then in '68. You show that picture to that group. You show that picture to people who have no memory of it or were too young to be there. This thing is all atmosphere and no real understanding of the events. So I don't think it's going to really make an impact with any group.
Well, I think a lot of people will already bring the understanding of events to the film, and they'll appreciate the stylistic touches here.
Not quite.
All right, coming up next, a great movie that was criminally overlooked in our video segment. But first, here's a look at what's coming up in next week's show.
Road trip!
There is something so sensual about fur next to the skin, don't you think?
Well, I hate to ask this, but are you just treating me special because I booked with Hotels.com and you know I'm going to write a review of my stay? Yes.
Hotel reviews from people like you. Welcome to Hotels.com.
I want healthy skin for life.
Improve the health of your skin with Aveeno Daily Moisturizing Lotion. The natural oatmeal formula goes beyond 24-hour moisture to improve skin's health in 1 day with significant improvement in 2 weeks.
I found a moisturizer for life.
Only from Aveeno.
Hey, want one?
Sure.
Icebreaker sours.
Wow.
How you doing? Mouth-watering fruit flavors, so surprisingly refreshing. Beware of the spontaneous, whoa!
Every woman has their beauty secrets. And mine is ballet.
Introducing new Ballet Concealers. The first and only bra with revolutionary concealing petals for complete modesty. Feel confident and look flawless in every moment.
Isn't she beautiful?
Live beautifully in ballet bras and panties.
As soon as you get out, I'll be right here.
All right, looking at movies new on DVD, kind of a campy recommendation for the great Jessica Alba in Awake. And I loved a documentary called My Kid Could Paint That. Check it out. Another film I want to recommend is Things We Lost in the Fire. And it's a film that actually kind of got lost in the shuffle last year. But I thought some terrific performances here from David Duchovny and Halle Berry. And in particular, Benicio del Toro as a junkie who's just barely hanging on by a thread. And Michael, I thought it was a real shame that people missed this film when it played in theaters. Really strong performances.
Yeah, very good acting all around. And I loved My Kid Could Paint That. That was one of the best documentaries last year. Okay, my DVD pick is director Sean Penn's adaptation of Into the Wild. It tells the true story of Chris McCandless, played by Emile Hirsch. He left behind an upper-middle-class cocoon and went off searching for America and himself. Based on John Krakauer's nonfiction bestseller, the film really hits its emotional stride in the section set in the Salton Sea desert country of California. Hal Holbrook is marvelous in his Oscar-nominated role as a lonely widower who gets to know the young man just before he sets his compass north for Alaska.
What do you say? You let me adopt you. I could be, say, your grandfather.
The nearly 2.5-hour movie may meander some, and it papers over some of the darker aspects of what drove McCandless to do what he did. But Into the Wild sticks with you. I really thought
Michael,
it was better in retrospect.
I agree with your misgivings, your small misgivings about the film, and also agree overall with your hearty recommendation. I think it's a terrific film, and Sean Penn really brings us along on this journey. You really have a feel for the location shots and for this kid's ultimately tragic journey.
Yeah, very good.
Good film. So, Into the Wild and Things We Lost in the Fire will be in stores on Tuesday, and we'll be back to recap this week's show right after this.
Closed captioning for Ebert and Roeper is sponsored by...
Man has evolved to the point where he no longer needs to stand in line for tickets. The MovieTickets.card, available only at MovieTickets.com.
When did this become a sit-down dinner? At Stouffer's, the way we see it, dinner should be something you feel good about. And we make it easy with our Stouffer's lasagna, made with only the finest ingredients and absolutely no preservatives. Because dinner should not only taste good, it should feel good. Stouffer's. Every dinner should feel this good.
Morning, Mike.
Morning, Bill.
Morning.
Morning.
I think I might need some better brakes.
You need our Midas Secure Stop brake service.
Is that something new?
Brand spanking.
Really?
Yeah. Exceptional stopping power combined with the security of a 55-point brake inspection.
And the pads are lifetime guaranteed.
So next time this one...
That's why we call it Secure Stop.
Trust the Midas touch.
Yeah, I tried it all. From eating absolutely nothing but soup to eating absolutely nothing. At one point, I even hired a life coach. Then one day it hit me. The person who knows the most about how I want to live is me.
South Beach Living brings you food that fits your healthy lifestyle. Delicious entrees, bars, and wraps made with whole grains, protein, and fiber. And everything tastes so good, you'll wonder what it was you were doing before you started living. Try living. South Beach Living.
Even if no one in your home smokes, secondhand smoke can be closer than you think. Smoke from a neighboring apartment can enter through the ventilation system, through cracks in the walls, and even through floorboards and light fixtures. Secondhand smoke is toxic and can harm you and your family.
Drew Barrymore's worldwide announcement. Monday's Oprah.
Guests of Ebert and Roeper stay at the Peninsula Chicago, the city's most exciting luxury hotel, located in the heart of Chicago's Magnificent Mile.
Okay, recapping the movies on this week's show. Neither of us can recommend the disappointing Semi-Pro. However, because I am a man of taste and generosity, I'm recommending Penelope, the Chicago 10, and the other Boleyn girl. Michael didn't like any of them. But we both like The Bank Job, and that opens next week.
Yeah, I like to keep my standards relatively high.
Yeah,
okay,
whatever.
But, hey, people should not forget about In Bruges, the Hitman comedy with Ray Fiennes and Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell. Yeah, very, very sharp black comedy.
It's my favorite movie released so far in 2008.
All right, there it is.
All right, that's it for this week. Until next week, the balcony is closed.
Oh, man.
Everything's better with toppings, like new shortcake pancakes at IHOP. Fluffiness topped with decadence only at IHOP. Come hungry, leave happy.
My Bliss? Blistex Complete Moisture. A rush of moisture lips can feel. And it feels great. Discover Bliss. Discover Blistex.
Goodbye storage bags. Hello snack and seal packages. The easiest way to keep your Oreo cookies tasting fresh.
New car extended warranties. Are they worth it? Monday at 11.
Only a ski weekend. Only what was on sale. Only a hobby. Only a millionaire.
Super Lotto Plus. Isn't any jackpot worth playing for?
Welcome to Burrito Block. May I fool you?
Yeah, give me the grilled chicken burrito.
We don't really have a grill here.
That's cool. I didn't expect your food to taste real anyway.
Okay. Would you like 3 grill marks or 4?
5. I want it to taste really grilled.
You can't fake taste. El Pollo Loco's new Queso Crunch Burrito has citrus marinated chicken breast grilled before your eyes. It's cheesy, it's crunchy, it's grilled.
Ready, honey?
Ready.
You looking?
Not looking.